This is Chronicles of Solid, and today I'll be doing a review of this guy, the Yamaha MT07. First look at it, it appears quite modern. Personally, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good. It looks like any other, middleweight naked sport bike, I suppose. Nothing really to make it stand out from the pack. It all looks fairly nice. I mean, you can see where they've cut cuts a bit with materials, but everything fits nice. It's Yamaha, so it'll be well built. But this bike does have something that I like very much, and that is a 270-degree crank, which sounds beautiful. For other bikes that have 270-degree cranks, be the Triumph Scrambler, if you've ever heard one of them with a pipe, they sound amazing. Also, I think my BMW has a 270-degree crank, so they're a little unconventional in that they rotate and move. I believe they move pistons up every 270 degrees, giving it kind of an off-kilter pattern that you can hear, and it sounds really nice. So the bike comes in a learner model and a non-learner model. This one's the non-learner model, makes about 57 not horsepower, torque. I couldn't get horsepower figures. Weighs about 180 kilos, 6-speed, all the usual stuff. The dashes are very nice and clear, but mainly the sound. I mean, this has a pipe on it. I think it was the Akrapovic pipe, but it just has instant torque. Very addictive. And I understand these are pretty budget orientated. The handling is what you would expect of a regular sport bike. It's quite nimble. The suspension's tuned to the sportier side, but it doesn't seem all that amazing. It does the job. The seat's relatively comfortable. Sports bikes have always been like super bikes, but toned down a bit for the street. Sitting on this bike, it does feel small. I was actually test riding the CB500X the other day, and size-wise, they actually feel quite similar. I mean, power-wise, they're worlds apart, but size-wise, this feels like a very small bike. And for the shorter rider, it should be easy to get your feet to the ground. Again, I'm 180 centimeters tall. Easily flat foot that with a big bend in my knee. I think this bike was made in mind to suit all kinds of riders. Hopefully these traffic lights let me through, because I got pressure sensors and sometimes I don't recognize the bike. The simplest way I can describe it is the bike feels angry. It's always like, "Arr, get out of my way, I got a plane to catch." The front's also very light. I noticed at speed, under acceleration, it gets a very, I don't know if you can see that, but very, very touchy front end. It's a little too twitchy for me. Nothing a steering dampener I couldn't fix, or a cup of concrete. Yeah. Mirrors are good. As I mentioned, the dashboard is very clear. You got your gear indicator for idiots like me, so I know what gear I am in. I believe it's a 6-speed. Petrol tank is 14 litres, I believe, which is a bit on the small side. but if the twin engine in this is anything like the Beamer, it should be fairly frugal, so K's shouldn't suffer too much. Interesting thing about the bike, I hopped on it to start the damn thing and I was looking for a button to press to start it, and you don't. This kill switch here is on a sliding mechanism, and so you slide it down and it starts the bike. So morons like me, it might take a little... Come on, traffic lights. I think the main appeal of this bike would be just a great city commuter bike. It's got a lot of character to keep you entertained in your trips to and from work, and it would be equally comfortable out on the weekends in the twisties. Obviously this isn't my usual kind of bike. As you know, I'm a dual sport and adventure guy now. It's at the bargain end of the category. You know, it sits in there with the I guess the Kawasaki ER6, the Triumph Street 675. I don't know what's the GSX 700 or 750 or whatever it is. All those naked sports bike middleweights, you know, made for a fairly cheap price with a detuned sports bike engine, or parallel twins as this Yamaha and the Kawasaki are. The difference being this one sounds amazing with a 270-degree crank. It sounds really good. Would I buy one? No, I wouldn't. It is a fun bike to ride, I'll give it that. But if I had my money to waste on a road bike in which it was nothing but sound and looks and, you know, my own vanity in mind, I'd probably get a Triumph Scrambler. It's got the same 270-degree crank, but it's got a little bit of that heritage pizzazz as well, and plus it's got spoked wheels, so I can chuck some off-road tyres and pretend that I can go off-road on it. But I suppose if you're looking for a cheap commuter but you want a bit of character, this bike has plenty of that when you turn it on. Leaving it in the car park, it'll just disappear in with every other bike and not get a second glance. But once you start her up, people will start looking, because you get that nice big thump thump thump. But I suppose if you got the Lamb's version of this and put a pipe on it, you certainly would have the most badass sounding learner bike. It's got plenty of go. So it hits the limiter at 100 in second gear. Not bad. Should probably head home because I'm running out of fuel. I don't want to have to pay for it because I'm a cheap bastard. So if you're still watching, thanks for watching my horribly uninformative review about a bike I would never get. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Hopefully I'll be back in the dirt because my Yamaha is getting its fan fitted as we speak, so happy days. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.